Hello everybody, Duck here from Albuquerque with a quick life update and also with a currently inked. My husband and I went to Colorado last week to celebrate his birthday, but that has all turned into a nightmare because we were hit by another driver who came across the median at a high speed and hit us kind of like he came right in front of us. So our front right hit his rear two SUVs, and the result was all airbags deployed and our car completely trashed. And we were checked over and with all kinds of CT scans and whatnot, but we had to go to the hospital, of course, as you can imagine, at a speed of kind of 50 miles per hour, where you cannot even avoid an impact. That was rough. And but broken ribs, scrapes, bruises, as you can see, and but overall, my God, we're glad to be alive. That's just what it boils down to. I am in pain every day ever since, and I'm pain-free pretty much when I lay down, except for when I move. And it's not funny, but you gotta take it with a little bit of humor so you don't go crazy. But I also thought that I do want to film a little currently inked video, because I had a few more pens inked after I saw you last, and there hasn't been knitting happening, just anything, I mean, minor. I was so glad that I could finally, I felt like, okay, I can knit a little bit. And of course, I was very, very worried about my hands, which were both scraped and bruised, but they x-rayed them and I'm okay, but I can't wear my rings right now, which I miss. This ring, nobody can get off at this point, and I'm certainly not going to cut it off. So I'm going to let my hand heal until I can take that off. But I can actually nicely hold a pen and write. So I'm writing a lot about what happened, and today I thought I write a little bit with you because I can, and because I love talking about my pens, and like I said, because I really felt like I need to give you a life update and keep you in the loop about what happened. Yes, and let's go over to the desk.
Here they are. A Jinhao Dadao 1919, a Platinum 3776 Chartres, which has been inked now with a different ink, a Waterman Carène, Faber-Castell Ondoro, Mont Blanc 12, Fake Mont Blanc, Kaweco Student 50s Rock, Parker 45 Flighter, Vintage Parker 51 from Paris, from a Paris flea market, a Pelikan 25, I believe it's called, and my two newest pens. This one is a Delta Dune Horizon. This is my Christmas pen. Yes, I only just now got it. Oh, several problems, whatever. And here we go. And the problems not on the side of my family, by the way. And this is a Pelikan M200 Orange Delight. I am doing my currently inked in a Tomoe River notebook with white paper, the old Tomoe River, which I love so much. And it's grid, which I also love so much. And we will start with this guy. And we will write the date, June 30th, 2024. And I can write okay. I think I'd be having a hard time if I had to grip something with a heavier weight, which this is not heavy. It's just a wider pen. I mean, heftier, girthier, I think is the term, right? And I had tried to replace this with a broad goulet nib, 6 nib, number 6, but I just couldn't get it to write. This ink is, I am hoping I am not telling you something wrong, but I'm thinking this is Robert Oster Cherry Blossom. See, apparently I would grip this harder and push down a little bit harder because I can tell this hurts me a little bit. Okay, I'm not a whiner at all, but I'm just feeling like I want to mention that. This was a pen gifted to me from my pen pal Sherry, and the ink was a gift from Des. Okay. Next is the ink name is Rose Quartz, and now it escapes me what the brand is. Tono and Limbs. Sample from Lorelei. And I know some of you, for some of you, this would be too light. I am totally loving all the light inks with all their fun properties. Oh, I always tend to forget to show you the nib. This is really a beautiful nib. 585 gold music. Yeah. Waterman Karen with a large nib, 18K. They call these large, which is essentially a broad, but actually probably a double broad. And this is Ventapiloncintos Gold Dust. sample from Lorelei. So I don't know if Pilonchintas translates into gold dust or if gold dust means that it has golden shimmer, whatever it is, whichever of the two it is. It's definitely a gorgeous shade of a dark, mysterious green. I'm assuming the cap is silver with all the patina it shows. Here's a pen which I have never seen in any other video. However, I want to give this a big shout out because this is an amazing writer. And it does not only come in this obnoxious orange, but also in kind of like a dark wood, I believe, maybe black, I don't know. And this is called a Faber-Castell Ondoro. Let's see if you can see it now. Faber-Castell Ondoro, and I have it with a broad nib, and really this guy is an amazing writer. This is a steel nib. And the ink is from my pen pal Peter. A sample. I feel like I've also seen these quite a bit on sale, these pens. And even at a local store at some point, I remember. But of course, nobody ever carries these with a broad nib. Goodness, people. So, and this is Diplomat Orange. Great pen, great reliable writer. Inked this up for our trip just now because it's a fairly inexpensive pen. Yeah, where I thought, okay, no problem if I lose it. But actually, I have to say, I got very stressed out about my pens possibly getting stolen from the lot from out of our wrecked vehicle. But even my wallet was still there when we went to pick up our things 3 days after the accident. Okay, here we have the beautiful Mont Blanc 12 with the glorious OBB nib. This is another Pen Pal sample, and it is Berlin Notebook number 6 Fox. Very nice dark shade of a reddish brown. This does not show the material of the nib, but I think it's safe to assume that it's a gold nib. Here comes my fake Mont Blanc, which claims to have a gold nib, but at this point, who knows? And this one I also inked up for the trip. And it's also Great Rider, which I would have missed had it vanished. I'm never quite sure if it's a B or a stub. Who knows? I don't know. And this is Robert Oster Viola. By the way, in case you wonder who sold me a fake Mont Blanc, this was many, many years ago in a little thrift store in Hamburg. And here we have the Kaweco Student 50s Rock. I have recently replaced the medium nib with a double broad nib that I had ordered through my local pen store. And the ink that you see, and I think I messed up with this ink, I just realized that. This is one of my mixes. Let me tell you in a second. Kaweco Student 50s Rock. Nib, and this one is a Doug mix that I recently made, and I called it the boy because this pen was a gift for my son, and I did want to put, oops, so sorry. And I did want to put the ink into this pen, yeah. And let's correct my mistake and make sure it was a mistake. It's the Flighter that has the viola. And this one is the fake Mont Blanc, is also a Doug mix. I apologize. It's a nice pink, isn't it? A nice dark pink. It has shimmer too. It's a Doug mix, and I called it Moonsong. Okay. Pretty nib, but I doubt it's gold. All right, and next here we have the Parker 45 Flighter, and this one has the Robert Oster viola from Ramona. Parker 45. Quite similar to Cherry Blossom. I should put Cherry Blossom into this afterwards. Wow, just thinking this could have been heat damaged when I was in the car for 3 days, but so far I haven't noticed any problems with any of these pens. I took this one, the Ondoro, and the Kaweco Brass metal pens that were not a little more robust, I thought. And here comes the Parker 51 from Paris. I believe this is a broad nib. Rearrange This is a great ink, and I hadn't used it in a long time, and I thought, oh, it's about time to use it. Isn't this finial pretty? Love it. Huh. Vintage Paris. That's just my name. It's not called Paris. I'm pretty confident this is a B. And this pretty ink is Diamond Wagner. I once gave my son a bunch of composer themed, named after composers, the inks. But when I saw this one, I knew I had to have it too. Great pen. And I apologize. I haven't said anything about the filling systems. This is a squeeze. Here comes the Pelikan 25. I put a I forget, is this a twist or a, oh, sorry, twist or a, this is a twist. Love, 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 love the pen. You do not see these Pelikans too often, and I feel like I have never seen any like this in a video on YouTube. I think this pen is called a Pelikan 25. This is a broad oblique nib, and this ink is from Casey Teranishi. Brilliant mint, brilliant. Goodness, I'm so sorry. Hello. I know I wrote it down. Where the heck is it? I think. Come on. And here we go. Left bottom, finally. I don't know why I didn't see it before. Teranishi, brilliant mint. This is seriously a very, very lovely pen and a super good writer and reliable writer. And now, my wonderful Delta Dune Horizon. I think the Horizon one is the one with the orange window, but don't quote me on that, because I'm very much like, yeah, Amanda, I know you've talked about that before. We try to remember the names of our pens, but it's not the end of the world if we don't get it 100% right, because in the end what matters is the pen and how it writes. This was a case where it was super hard to get the right nib. And then it turned out that the body of the pen had micro cracks when I finally had it. So I had at first I waited forever for the nib, for the broad one. Then I had to return the pen, and which of course was returned to Delta. And then I finally, just recently, got my pen back, and this is not a gold nib, just a gold colored one. Yeah. And it had more feedback and a slight scratch when I got it, but hey, I waited so long for this, so I took some micro mesh to it and did not take it back to the store. Delta Dune Horizon. Broad nib. And this is Sailor Manu Couquet, which I had bought in December to match the pen, but which it does wonderfully. However, I have had the ink for 6 months, but I could not use the pen. Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to use the ink. That's what I meant to say. I did not want to use the ink before I got the pen finally. Yeah, it's a beauty, and I'm very happy about it. I'm very happy that I finally have it. Merry Christmas to me in summer. Merry Christmas, I mean, happy summer to me. I've been eyeing this baby for the longest time. Actually, I was thinking about getting the sparkly, the pink, what was it named Rose Quartz, the M205. I'm just a Pelikan girl. The other day somebody said, "Hey, Mrs. Pelikan," to me in a comment, and I'm like, yes, I take that anytime. My name is Mrs. Pelikan. So the rose quartz I didn't want to get because I ended up deciding against it because I just like the pens better when they're combined with gold. And when I saw the orange, I love orange, and so I had to get this one. And yet again, I had to wait for the broad nib. And this, people, check your pens. Something was not right with my pen. And I did indeed have to return it. Or that is, I did want the pen, but I exchanged it because the ink flow was really not good. This is a Pelikan. I have a lot of Pelikans. I knew the ink flow had to be good, so there was something off with that pen. So, but now it is just perfect. And you can see this is a wet rider now. Pelikan Orange Delight. Broad nib, and this ink is, yeah, I had tried the first pen with different inks, and I had the same problem with all of them. So I knew it wasn't the ink. Also, I know Pelikan pens. My Pelikan pens never have any writing problems, ink flow problems. This is Pelikan Edelstein. That was a gift from my friend Doris. It's called Mandarin. Yep. And this one I also have a bottle, sample, Oh, that's a mix. That's a mix. Yeah. I think everything else is everything else are samples. And we have come to the end. Thank you for being patient with me. And thank you for stopping by. Thank you for your continued support of the channel. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.